Middle Eastern Pipeline Company and Trunkline Gas Company to educate its employees, excavators, and the general public about the dangers of excavating near high-pressure natural gas pipelines.
Five people have lost their lives in what officials are calling a freak farm accident. The tragedy occurred when workers inadvertently cut through a natural gas pipeline near Hudson, Iowa. The explosion and resulting fire could be seen some 50 miles away.
This morning, workers fought the bitter cold. Yesterday, they fought incredible heat, a hell on earth that melted tires and machinery, and it all but cremated 5 people.
It's just a terrible accident. He was always that careful. And I don't know. You know, I can't answer all them questions.
And right now, authorities can't either. Internorth has sent its own team of investigators, and federal officials are coming in too. We know it happened when a tiling crew was digging in a barren field. The whole farm was being terraced, and 2 people from the local soil conservation office were staking out the field with tiny flags.
The tractor operator I was talking to said if they'd been over there another 5 or 10 minutes, they wouldn't have been here in time to be involved in this accident.
2 charred skeletons, all that was left of them, still sitting in their pickup. The other 3 victims were digging a trench when they ripped into the pipeline, maybe only 3 feet underground. There are actually 2 gas pipelines down there. The one that ruptured is only a few feet from another one that lays right beside it. And that big steam shovel back there, the explosion was so fierce yesterday it actually picked it up and flipped it around. Was Internorth here Thursday to inspect the pipeline? Victims' relatives say yes. Internorth may have even marked off the pipeline a short time before the blast. The blast cost Internorth $250,000 or more. The loss to relatives can't be measured in money. West of Hudson, Al Peffley, TV9 Eyewitness News.
The following was taken from the Pipeline Accident Report, prepared by the National Transportation Safety Board, Bureau of Accident Investigation, of the October 4th, 1982 Northern Natural Gas Company explosion and fire near Hudson, Iowa. At 11:28 a.m. Central Standard Time on Friday, October 29, 1982, 6 days before the accident, a tile contractor requested the Northern Natural Gas Company via the Iowa One Call system to locate 2 gas pipelines on a farm about 4 miles west of Hudson. The contractor was going to install drainage tile on the farm to provide better drainage, which would prevent soil erosion and enhance soil conservation. Northern's 26 and 20-inch diameter gas transmission pipelines were well marked, and they crossed Grundy Road adjacent to the farm. Shortly after the call, Northern contacted one of its utility repairmen by radio and instructed him to mark the 26 and 20-inch diameter pipelines, which extended in an east-west direction from Grundy Road, and to mark the 10-inch diameter pipeline, which extended in a north-south direction at that same location. When the utility repairman, who had been employed by Northern for 28 years, arrived at the site, he used an electronic pipeline locator to locate the pipelines and placed markers about 150 feet apart on each pipeline. According to the utility repairman, after he had marked the pipelines, he showed their location to one of the contractor's employees and explained that there were 3 pipelines. No mention was made about the depth of the pipelines. The utility repairman then left the area and reported to his next assignment. He did not visit the work area again until after the accident. On Thursday morning, November 4th, 1982, the contractor telephoned Northern and requested that it have someone locate and mark the pipelines near valve number 9, about 4 miles west of Grundy Road. Northern dispatched a maintenance man with 4 1/2 years experience to proceed to the area. En route, the maintenance man found the tile contractor about 40 feet east of the valve site at Grundy Road, where the pipelines had been located and previously marked. That was rather than at valve number 9. According to the maintenance man, the contractor said that he was going to install 6-inch diameter plastic drain tile to the east of Northern's 10-inch diameter Waverly line, connect its north end to an existing 4-inch drain tile, install it to the south across the 26 and 20-inch diameter pipelines, and then end it about 10 to 15 feet south of the 20-inch pipeline. The contractor planned to dig the 6-inch plastic tile ditch 48 inches. The maintenance man said that because the tile contractor had expressed some concern about crossing over the top of the 26 and 20-inch diameter pipelines. He attempted to measure depths of each pipeline where the tile was to cross. He contacted the 26 and 20-inch pipeline about 8 feet below the surface at this location. Meanwhile, the drainage tile was being automatically lowered into the ditch behind the ditching machine. According to Northern's maintenance man, when the trencher was about halfway between the 26 and 20-inch pipelines, the supply of tile ran out, but the contractor continued to dig the 48-inch ditch to a point 10 to 15 feet south of the 20-inch diameter pipeline. Further, according to the Northern's maintenance man, the contractor stated that he would hand lay the additional 35 to 40 feet of 6-inch tile needed to reach the south end of the ditch, that he would continue ditching operations from the end of the ditch in a southerly direction away from the 20-inch diameter pipeline, and that he would then dig another ditch parallel to and then going away from the 20-inch gas line using a tile plow. Northern's maintenance man told Safety Board investigators, quote, "When we crossed both lines, he, the contractor, commented about how deep the pipeline was. And I said, coming under a road crossing, it isn't unusual to be that deep. But I told him after it gets past the road, then it starts to come back up to 3 or 4 feet. The maintenance man stated that shortly before noon, the contractor told him that he would not be digging across the lines anymore. And the maintenance man assumed the contractor would not need him anymore. The contractor indicated that they were going to shut down the operation and break for lunch. At 12:10 p.m., Northern's maintenance man left the area and returned to the company's Waterloo office. About 1:15 p.m., the contractor's crew returned to the job site. The pre-rip, which began about 1,000 feet south of the two gas pipelines, was made in a northerly direction and ended at the previously dug 48-inch ditch 10 feet south of the 20-inch pipeline. The contractor then moved the tile plow to the southeast corner of the field at the terrace intake and pre-ripped the soil 18 to 24 inches deep to the end of the 6-inch tile located between the 20 and 26-inch pipelines. After completing the pre-rip pass, the contractor turned the equipment around, set the plow at a 48-inch depth, and with extra power supplied by the Caterpillar D6 tractor pulling the tile plow, proceeded to install the 5-inch tile in a southeasterly direction from the origin point midway between the two pipelines. As the tiling operation proceeded in a southeasterly direction between the two pipelines, two persons from the U.S. Department of Agriculture Soil Conservation Service drove into the field in a pickup truck to observe operations. At 2 p.m., Northern's aerial patrol radioed Waterloo Station to alert Northern that a contractor was working near the pipelines at the Waverly Valve site. At 2:15 p.m., the tile plow struck and punctured the 20-inch diameter pipeline, which was about 36 inches below the surface, about 35 feet east of the 6-inch tile ditch. Natural gas at an initial pressure of 820 psi-G erupted from the punctured pipe, tore the pipe from the ground, turned the tile plow completely around, and was ignited almost immediately, possibly by one of the operating machines or the nearby pickup truck. All 5 persons at the site, the 3-person work crew, and the 2 soil conservationists were killed. Flames rose several hundred feet into the air. The 20-inch pipeline, which had been blown out of the ground, opened up, and the force of the escaping gas dug a hole 30 feet wide, 64 feet long, and 9 feet deep. In conclusion, the Safety Board believes that excavation-caused damage to pipelines can be prevented by pipelines being well marked, by notifying pipeline operators in advance of proposed excavating activities, by having pipeline operator representatives on site during excavation, and by utilizing contractors who perform their work in a careful, conscientious manner. In this accident, these precepts had been met. The contractor had notified the company of his intention to excavate, and well in advance of work commencement, as well as on the day of excavation. And the company had responded by marking its facilities and sending a maintenance man to monitor the operations. The contractor, in the presence of the maintenance man, had successfully excavated across both pipelines, and the maintenance man had determined that both pipelines were 8 feet deep where crossed. Up to that point, everything had been done correctly. However, 2 things which were then done negated all of the previous good work and which set the stage for this accident. First, the contractor changed his plans, but did not inform Northern's maintenance man. Second, the maintenance man left the job site before all work over the pipelines had been completed. The contractor had previously excavated 10 feet south of the 20-inch pipeline from which point he reportedly had said that he would continue with 2 strings of 5-inch tile, one in a south and one in a southeasterly direction away from the pipelines. This would have necessitated the installation of a 6-inch by 5-inch by 5-inch wide tile at this point. Apparently, between the time that the maintenance man left the construction site and the time that the contractor resumed tiling, the contractor decided to start the 5-inch tile installation between the 20 and 26-inch pipelines rather than to the south of the pipelines. The contractor may not have wanted to take the time to obtain the necessary additional 6-inch tile needed to hand lay the 30 to 35 feet to clear the pipelines before installing the 5-inch tile. However, it is unlikely that this contractor, who had been so cautious and so attentive when it came to crossing the first 2 pipelines, and who had about 30 years experience and was well aware of the hazards of excavating near high-pressure pipelines, it's unlikely that he would have started tiling from a point between the 2 pipelines unless he believed that the lines were as deep 35 feet to the east as they were at the first crossing. For whatever reason, the contractor changed his plans, and he did not inform Northern's maintenance man. The maintenance man left the job site before the tilling operation had been completed across both pipelines. Although the excavation had been completed, a 6-inch tile installation and a backfill operation had yet to be finished, and the maintenance man should have remained at the job site. If he had remained, the maintenance man would have learned of the change in plans, and based on his prior actions, it seems likely that he would have measured the pipeline depth with his spotting bar at the point of the new crossing. Based upon the shallower depth, which thus would have been determined, it would have been obvious to the maintenance man and to the contractor that a new crossing would have required hand excavation because the use of mechanical equipment would simply have been too dangerous. In this case, if either the contractor had mentioned his change of plans to the maintenance man, or if the maintenance man had remained at the job site, preventive measures would likely have been taken to avoid the puncture. This concludes the statements from the National Transportation Safety Board report. This presentation has been prepared by Panhandle Eastern Pipeline Company for training and educating of its employees and those who may be involved in any type of excavating or underground work. Portions of this program have been provided by Panhandle Eastern Pipeline Company, by KCRG-TV in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, KWWL-TV in Waterloo, Iowa, and KGAN-TV in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and may not be used in any commercial or profitable application. It is to be used for training and educating only. Anyone planning to use equipment for excavating, tunneling, demolition, or any other similar work, please contact the One Call system serving your location. Many states have statewide systems, and those states that do not usually have citywide systems. These One Call systems provide one telephone number for excavating contractors and the general public to call for notification of their intent to excavate. If you are unable to determine the telephone number of your One Call system, contact the larger utility pipeline companies in your vicinity, and they will provide the One Call telephone number for you.